waking up.
It's the home of the Nets here in Brooklyn, New York, as 2K Sports brings you today's action live from the Barclays Center. Now a chance to check out our starting lineups. And with Bill Russell on the floor, there's always so much excitement. He's so dynamic.
Well, he's probably the greatest shot blocker ever to play the game. Unfortunately, they didn't keep records of blocked shots back then. But it would have been amazing to see the numbers that he would have put up in that area. He was a guy who would not only block shots, but keep them in play and direct them towards his teammates.
Well, Russell was defense and winning personified. Not only would he absolutely remove whoever he was guarding from the game, but he would help out everybody else on his team, too. He was in charge of everything when his team did not have the ball.
The Washington Wizards come into this one after their win against the Cavaliers in Cleveland. And they put it all together in that game. It added up to a phenomenal win.
Tell you what, the way they shot the ball that game, Kevin, it looked like a shoot-around out there.
It sure did, and all the more impressive because they did it on the road. You're not supposed to be able to get that hot in an opponent's building. In my opinion, Brook Lopez, guys, quite possibly is the best scoring 7-footer in the game. I mean, he has terrific skills on the low block. And he's able to step out and knock that outside shot down from out to the three-point line.
And it's Russell missing. Emeka Okafor is checked in for Russell. So it's Brooklyn now, fresh from a win against Portland.
You know, so often in the NBA we talk about how you have to earn your points the hard way, but it didn't seem like that was the case. Everything came pretty easily.
Too many of their points came the easy way, Steve. You're right. On dunks and layups against the defense that didn't really put up much resistance.
Now here's Williams. After the miss from Kevin Garnett. There's the dish to Lopez. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. And for Brook Lopez last season, Steve, almost 20 points a game, shooting over 50%.
His best season ever, Kevin. I think he's really evolved into one of the top centers in the league. A big-time, elite interior threat. And as you know, that's kind of rare these days in the NBA. You know, that's one way he can finish, but not the only way. He's got a lot of tricks up his sleeve.
Poked away, and here we go. The Wizards fast break. Slammed home, and they call the foul. He's headed to the stripe for one more.
I'd say that shot was well within his range.
You think so? I mean, I was pretty good from 2 feet and in myself. That's a gimme there.
The Nets have gone 2 or 3 here to start out the game.
You know, the new home for the Nets last season as they moved over from New Jersey to Brooklyn, and they must have loved their new digs because they were fantastic in front of this Brooklyn crowd last season. 26-15 here.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
I spoke briefly with Randy Whitman. We talked about the problems a player like Deron Williams presents, and he didn't hesitate saying that Williams' combination of size and speed are major areas of concern, saying Deron is such a handful physically, there's no way to keep him out of the paint with a single defender. It's simply not possible. Guys, we've seen it so often.
Thanks a lot, Doris. And a moment now to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from here for Washington.
And they're doing a fantastic job of finding the open man and getting easy looks.
They've gotten their fair share of points off turnovers so far tonight, too.
Clark, you're right. The Nets are making a good impression here, as you were saying. Always good for a team to open up a new arena with a strong record at all.
And what a great stadium, guys. The Barclays Center, one of the best-looking floors in the NBA. Great design all around. And even on the outside, when you walk up to the arena here in Brooklyn, it's just a beautiful atmosphere.
Well, Clark, a clear lane to the basket and the emphatic jam.
And that is outstanding attacking basketball.
Well, he had no choice but to take that one to the bucket.
And Okafor with the block. Knocked the pass to Carmelo. Nice ball movement by Washington. Kevin Garnett with the steal. Johnson outside. They double-team Johnson. Lopez kicks to Williams. Shot clock at 6. Hangs in midair and converts on the double clutch layup. Williams has got 8 points. It's Carmelo Anthony on the way. Wasted no time on that shot, but it's off the mark. Passes it to Clutch. Lopez over to help. A 3. Van Lopez pulls it down.
Well, head coach Jason Kidd, that's a phrase I didn't expect to hear this quickly, but Kidd wasted no time. Only a matter of weeks after he announced his retirement as a player, he was named the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets. And it's going to be interesting to see the transition. Kidd, obviously great basketball IQ, so well respected as a person in the league. I think it's just a matter of time before he really finds his footing and becomes an excellent coach.
And the Wizards making a change here. Kevin McHale, he checked in for Okafor. Harden comes in for lights out. Mavericks checked in for Doc. And it's Jeremy Lin in for Clutch. Lin kicks to Harden. The basket good off the assist from Lin. And back to Coach Jason Kidd, Clark, a rookie at the coaching profession, but one of the most intelligent, respected point guards over his 19 years in the NBA.
Yeah, always respected as a leader, and his basketball IQ off the chart. So I think he's one of the few guys that could go right from playing to being a successful head coach.
Nets trail by 4. Terry dishes to Williams. Terry the pass to Williams. The finger roll finish at the bucket. Williams has got 14 points.
It's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint. I guess the good news is they've taken away the outside shot.
Well, you know what? It doesn't matter how good their perimeter defense is if they're going to allow inside looks as easy as that.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn. This their first look at this year's Washington squad.
And as you'd expect, they pretty much handled this team a year ago.
Lights out, checked in for Carmelo Anthony. Out of bounds, next ball as Brooklyn keeps possession.
All right, a chance to check out some stats for James Harden. What a year he had last season. 5th in scoring, 7th in steals, and he was very solid from the foul line, closing out the year among the top 20 in terms of free throw percentage.
And Steve, he was definitely one of the most reliable, efficient scorers in the NBA. I mean, his top 5 rankings put him right there in the ranks of the elite scorers.
A nice shot by Anderson. Clark, opposite ends of the conference here. The expectations are pretty much the same as last season.
Well, Kevin, you never know what's going to happen. You don't know where the upsets will take place, but they do occur pretty much all the time.
Oh, the rapid-fire threes coming from everywhere.
I thought it might be a little imprudent to try to get those points right back, but it worked.
That was not pretty there. You got to make that one, but that's not his range.
That is good.
Great outside shooting fueling this run.
And the defense getting bombarded. They just haven't been able to slow them down.
Now here's Taylor. He's covered closely. And here we go. The Wizards fast break. Here's Sears. Rips down the breakaway slam.
Looks like they're going to have one of those days where they can do no wrong.
Well, they haven't done anything wrong so far. Double-digit lead already.
Here comes Jason Terry. Can they get it? Wow, he nails the buzzer beater. Offense, the order of the day as the first quarter comes to a close. Washington out in front. They're up by 7. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter. Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And what stands out to you from Washington in this one?
Yeah, this team played an excellent first quarter offensively, moving the ball and getting a good flow to their offense. That's why you see those big assist totals.
Yeah, very timely passing for them, Steve, and that's why they've been able to jump out to this lead.
Andre Kirilenko is out there with Evans. Then it's Blatch. Then there's Tyshawn Terry. And it's Terry in at the shooting guard. That's the Nets 5 as we get into the second quarter.
You know, at one point, Jason Terry, the Jet, relied so much on his speed for his scoring. But now he mostly scores from the mid-range game and the three-point line.
Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Gentlemen, Andre Kirilenko declined the second-year player option on his contract with the Timberwolves worth $10 million. He had to settle for a lot less in Brooklyn, but at least a chance to play for a stacked team looking to contend for a title. Kevin?
Well, they've definitely added some quality size, Doris. No question about that. We'll see how they do. Here's what Washington's going with right now. Porter's checked in for McHale. Doc comes in for James Harden. And Bradley Beal subbed in for Clutch. And the pass to Doc. Good, and the assist goes to Russell.
You know, one aspect of their play today that's really been tight and far superior is their passing.
Agreed. I mean, you look at the points. I mean, they're getting a lot of baskets off of assists, so the offense really clicking here.
Here's Garnett after the made shot from Doc. And it's a foul called on Doc. That is his first foul of the game. And back to the outside shooting of Jason Terry, one of the great mid-range pull-up jump shots you're going to see in this league.
And he can drain it from long range, too. Uncanny accuracy off the dribble, especially loves to go right into his pull-ups. And, you know, he's a great bailout guy, too. He can hit big shots late in the clock.
No good from Doc.
Even though he isn't having the best of game from the floor, it hasn't seemed to hurt him.
Taylor with the ball. Now Beal defending.
That's the risky run by staying out there as he picks up his third.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn.
Well, you know, when Rajon Rondo went down last season and the Celtics looked to be out of any title contention, Kevin Garnett, guys, became a very hot topic on the trade market. And with his ability and experience, that should be no surprise.
And a new group getting ready for the Wizards. Kevin McHale, he checked in for Russell. Anthony comes in for Emeka Okafor. Mavericks checked in for Porter. And it's Jeremy Lin in for Bradley Beal. Lopez kicks to Pierce. Kicks it out to Garnett. 6 on the shot clock. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. We talked about what Garnett can bring to a team. He's still an impactful player. Offensively, a deadly jump shooter. He reached 25,000 points last season with Boston. Also a great passer.
But it's defensively where he really makes his mark. One of the best defensive forwards I think the league has ever seen. His ability to communicate, to guard pick and roll, to switch out onto point guards and stay in front of them. And then the intensity, the intangible that he brings to your club.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark power on the dunk.
And guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
And there's the call on Maverick. That is his first foul of the game.
Well, yeah, he had not established position.
You know, I prefer the refs to whistle with a block when in doubt. I thought that was a good call there.
Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. And here we go. Washington fast break. Anthony leading the charge.
Some rugged defense there against one of the stronger finishers in the game.
And 2 free throws coming up.
He needs to pick it up offensively.
And what stands out to me, Clark, with what you just talked about is the rebounds, because this is a very physical team. They like to try to bully their opponent at both ends of the floor. On the defensive glass, they were excellent. And then offensively, on missed shots, they really got after it and tried to get second chance points.
For the Wizards, I thought injuries a big reason they didn't have the season they hoped for. They do have some things they can build off of, though. The one that sticks out to me was how they were able to improve their defense last year and became pretty good at limiting easy shots.
So timeout called here, the first for Washington. And going back to what you said, Clark, about the Wizards, they did improve dramatically in terms of defense and had one of the top 10 Ds in the league. Steve, not bad for a team that is clearly building around youth.
And that's a great sign, because normally when you have young players, you struggle defensively more than at the offensive end. So this is a group that has plenty of potential, and I think we're seeing that this season, you know, as they continue to get better in terms of rebounding and defending the paint.
Offensive rebound, Lopez. Another miss. Boy, they had their chance there, but couldn't get it to go. A good look from Harden. Rebound, Brooklyn.
I think he was surprised by how much space he had there and just rushed the shot a little bit.
Johnson kicks to Williams. He passes to Lopez. The basket is good off the assist from Williams. And that's now 6 points for Brook Lopez. Lights out, Pierce covering. Back to Harden. The Wizards with another miss. Nets trailed by 10.
Well, there's plenty to like about him as a player, but you know, one thing that really stands out is the quick trigger. He can catch the ball in space, defenders all over him, but you know, in an instant, lets that shot go, and he is accurate.
Steve, the other thing is he's really an extremely skilled ball handler, too. He's got a little flash and dash to his game, that's for sure.
And the Nets making a change here. Toradovic is checked in. Now let's send it to Doris from the sideline.
Well, gentlemen, as you know, Jason Kidd has always been perceptive, and when he retired from playing, he said his thought process went like this. All right, let's take a look at your resume, Jason. You have no financial background. You have basketball. That's what you have for your whole life. So next was going to be basketball. And once he and his agent started to explore the opportunities, the coaching position with the Nets emerged, and Kidd said things moved to, quote, warp speed after that. Kevin, we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah, good situation for him. Thanks, Doris.
Well, James Harden, clearly one of the most potent offensive threats in the game. Can do it all. Pass, shoot with range, get to the rim. He led the league in free throw attempts last season with over 10 a game.
For Brooklyn, they have gone 5 of 7 from the free throw line in the game.
And you look at the numbers, guys, this team shot a 73% clip over the course of last season.
And it's something they know that if they improve, can really have a big impact on their success.
Kevin Garnett is checked in for Brook Lopez. Porter outside. Shot's good. Porter's got 6.
Oh, he's going to keep banging those home if you give him that much space.
Here's Johnson. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. And Clark, you mentioned Harden, great at drawing fouls. He stays low. He holds the ball low. And when he brings it up, if the defender reaches, he just guides his arms up under theirs to draw the contact. It's a very clever move.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of players over the years do it. Kevin Durant has done it. Tim Duncan before that. Going way back, Sam Perkins used to make that move. It's really a tricky play, and it's tough to guard, but when you perfect it offensively, it's really a weapon. But it looks like he's finally found his footing in this game. His first quarter was a real struggle, but he's gotten it going now.
The defender there in the neighborhood, but not quite close enough. Good shot.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Johnson draws the double. Back to Williams. Johnson outside. Another miss by Johnson. Washington leading now by 11. Pass to Clutch. He kicks it to Porter. Here's Clutch. Takes the lead pass. Shoots off the step in. Oh, and he just knocked down the buzzer beater.
How about that?
Now, presented by Sprint.
It's Wednesday night at the 2K Sports Studio, and this is the halftime report. Washington leading against the Nets at Barclays Center. They've yet to lose so far this season and are looking fantastic in this one, too. A sensational first half for Clutch. What he's been able to do from the field has been nothing short of spectacular. Only a select few players in the Memphis Grizzlies.
The Sprint halftime report, presented by Sprint.
Welcome back to New York City, the bright beacon of the Statue of Liberty, lighting up the harbor.
You know, it's been a while since the Nets have been one of the feared teams in the East. They had their best season since their days when they would make trips to the finals in the early 2000s. Really an excellent turnaround effort from the entire organization.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. So on the floor for Washington, they've got Doc. Lights out there with Anthony. Then it's Russell. And it's Clutch in at the point. And here's Anthony from the arc.
Boy, that's a surprising miss right there. He usually feasts on those wide open opportunities.
Here's the pass to Williams. Garnett outside. Back to Williams. The lead pass was put in just the right spot. Williams has got 20. And for the Nets, who were one of the big turnaround stories from last season, they did it by beating the team, Steve, they were supposed to in the rest of the Eastern Conference. Great record against the East.
Yeah, 36-16 against their Eastern foes, so pretty solid in that regard. You know, they decided early on that the key was they had to get home court advantage in the first round. And they set their goal and they hit it. Unfortunately, they got knocked off by Chicago in that first round.
Lopez sets a screen for Williams. Shoots off the screen. Good work defensively by Anthony. Washington leading now by 12. Pass to Clutch. Three-pointer. The shot is off. So Brooklyn will take it the other way.
And they've been off target now on 3 of the first 4 shots they've taken in this second half.
And stolen by Russell. Uses both hands to slam it down.
Well, one of the things that makes him special is his tendency to become red hot in just a matter of seconds. And you never know when it's coming. You know, all it takes is a shot or two, and he's rolling.
And you know, Steve, he's as level-headed a player as there is. If there's ever been an occasion when he's gotten flustered, I can't recall it. I've not seen it.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn.
It seems for the past few years, the only time you heard about Brook Lopez's name was in what the Nets would give up for Dwight Howard. I mean, well, all of that talk goes away now, at least for a minute, because he signed that extension with the Nets. And because of that, I think he was more comfortable, and it showed in his production on the floor.
Williams with three, but they get it back. Garnett dishes to Lopez. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot two.
Let's see some of the numbers here for Brook Lopez. Last year, getting it done. 7th in blocks, 10th in scoring, and he was also a top 20 shooter from the field. So really a nice all-around offensive year for him.
And you know, Steve, when you're talking about a shot blocker, it's sometimes hard to put into words what those blocks mean. You also have to consider the shots that he changes. Excellent length, and he's really quick off his feet, so he can just about get to any shot, if not block it, to at least bother it.
And for Brook Lopez, a max contract going into last season. It raised some eyebrows for sure, but the way he's elevated his game, it looks like right now at least he's been worth every penny.
Yeah, I agree with that. First-time All-Star, he improved as a shot blocker and a rebounder. And, you know, I thought he should have got maybe some votes at least for most improved player last season. Big reason why the Nets improved so much.
That's a good point. Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. Andre Bloch, he's checked in for Lopez. And Alan Anderson subbed in for Paul Pierce. And now the fast break, Anthony with the ball.
With that reverse jam, the fans got a little extra show there.
That one definitely had something, you're right, extra on it.
That was one of those 3 or 4 plays that you see every night in an NBA game that just leaves you in awe.
Back to Anderson. They need this. Rebound by the Wizards.
He doesn't really scare a defense at all. You've seen him miss quite a few just like those.
No good for Maverick. Nets trail by 19. Johnson kicks to Williams. And there's the foul. It's on Clutch. That's foul number 2 for him. The Nets making a switch here. Terry's checked in. A little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third. Feeds it to Williams. 6 to shoot. Back to Terry. Good, and it's Williams who picks up the assist. Williams has got 5 assists in the game. Clutch the pass to Long. Jacks up a 3. The pass to Maverick. Dishes it to Carmelo. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Here's Clutch. He's guarded by Williams. Clutch the pass to Maverick. Here's Russell. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
It's a great play under the boards for him. And, you know, that's the standard that he sets. It seems like all those second chance points, I mean, they're there for him game in, game out.
Looking at who's out there now for the Nets. Kevin Garnett. He's checked in for Bloch. Pierce comes in for Alan Anderson. And it's Johnson in for Darren Williams. Stolen by Kirilenko. And there's the call on Maverick. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Clutch, he's checked in for the Wizards. 1:30 left in the 3rd quarter of the game. Now here's Terry. Defense right on him. Pierce kicks to Johnson. Back to Pierce. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. The shot by Kirilenko, no good. Washington leading now by 17.
You know, I think Carmelo is one of the great scorers in the NBA, but his three-point shooting has really been inconsistent over the course of his career. That's where he could make the most improvement. Shoots a low percentage out there, and I think settles too often for that three-point shot. He's so strong, I'd like to see him put the ball on the floor and get to the hole more often. Well, you know, he has shot the ball well, but it has not been contagious. And his teammates, they haven't had the same groove, and that's why we're looking at this result so far.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going. That's really a tough call. One you don't like to see, but it was called, and now he's got to really make sure that he's on top of his game here in regards to not picking up another foul. That was his 5th right there.
Kevin McHale, he checked in for Washington. Lights-out comes in for Carmelo Anthony. And Steve, to go back to Anthony and his shooting stroke, he shot more threes last season than ever before. Clark over 6 a game.
And so maybe as he emphasizes that part of his game a little more, he can get his percentage back up to the 40s like in 2011. If that happens, there's no question that makes him even more deadly as a scorer.
Good point. And you know that's going to be goaltending, guys, so that's a free basket right there.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
And Washington making a change here. Lynn's checked in. He passes to Long. There's the triple. Yes! And a nice assist from Lynn. Lynn's got 4 assists in the game. Williams kicks to Johnson. And again, Brooklyn with the triple.
This is a tremendous solo run he's on. I mean, the kind we've seen him have so many times before.
He got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. Well, through 3 quarters of play. And we welcome you back as we get going here in the 4th quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. And let's take a moment, guys, to get your take on the scoring so far for the Wizards.
Man, they keep piling up the assists, guys. Great ball movement.
Another factor here tonight has been the amount of points they've scored off turnovers.
On the perimeter, the all-star trio of Williams, Johnson, and Pierce. Evans is out there with Garnett, so that's the lineup for Brooklyn. And Brooklyn has possession. It's a 13-point game. Tries to keep it alive. 3-on-3. Here's Hugh. Kept alive by Washington. Pass to Long. He dishes it to Carmelo. Clutch.
Come to me, come to me.
Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down. Nice hops and determination that time. Clark to get to the rim.
We know he can bounce, and right there an example of how dangerous he is when he's got a path to the hoop.
And you love the versatility, guys. Being a point guard, and in this situation, they tack on 2 more points, expanding the lead in a pretty deflating way for the defense.
Williams for 3, and that one's good. Williams has got 23.
Back-to-back threes for him. The defense is slacking off a little bit.
It does look like their energy is lacking at this point.
Right block shot. Garnett outside. Leads him in there. And it's going to be a goaltending call here, so they'll count the bucket.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
Brook Lopez is checked in for Brooklyn. Karolinko comes in for Paul Pierce. Here's Hugh. And again, Washington, no good.
Well, remember, he made 2 3-pointers in the first half, but has not been able to get anything to fall here in the second.
Here's Johnson. And the lead is down inside single digits. Johnson's got 13 points here in the second half alone. Time called here. The Wizards decide to talk it over.
He just is not happy with how his team is executing. And they've been on the wrong side of this run. It's time for a momentum shift.
You know, sometimes just getting off the court, taking a break, and coming back out fresh will give you a chance to pull together.
Looking at who's out there now for the Wizards. McHale comes in for lights out, and it's Harden in for Doc. All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Yes, Kevin, Randy Whitman had some words for his team over the break. He told his team to keep looking for 3-point opportunities, saying their perimeter defense isn't doing a good job getting out on our shooters. So let's keep firing away until they decide to guard us.
Nets trailed by 9. Outside Williams. Garnett with a screen on Anthony. Williams double team. Garnett dishes to Johnson. Back to Garnett. 5 on the clock. Nice D from McHale.
Terrific defense at the rim. They got right in his path.
You know, that's part of what great defenders do. They get not only in your path, but in your head a little bit, too.
Clutch the pass to Carmelo. Got that bucket in no time at all.
And they've set up countless buckets off assists. That's a huge part of what they've been doing here today.
A lot of dime dropping going on out there, Steve.
Stolen by Harden. And here we go. Washington fast break. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Just an amazing game for Clutch. 22 points, and he's drained 3 3-point bombs so far.
Tell you what, he should not hesitate to keep firing from out there because he's got the touch tonight. Well, you can count on him, can't you? He seems to knock down free throws consistently all game long.
Now a timeout call by Brooklyn.
They've been very untidy with the ball here. You commit turnovers when you try to do too much or you force it. They need to focus on making the simple play, good passes, and moving the ball around.
Washington making some changes. Emeka Okafor is checked in for Russell. Porter comes in for Carmelo Anthony. And lights out subbed in for Kevin McHale.
Boy, that was way behind the line. Now, he can make that at times.
He certainly is one of the guys that can actually do it from there.
And so it looks like the Wizards will retain possession here. Chance now to check out the Washington Wizards' upcoming schedule. They'll be playing host to Toronto for the next one. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. And just about 3 minutes through the 4th quarter here. Here's Hugh. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. Clutch has got 26.
Yeah, guys, it's his consistent shooting that's really helped get his team into a position they're in right now.
Open shot. Williams finds himself wide open and drills it. Wizards leading by 13. Here's Hugh.
Oh, ridiculous. Tore it down that time.
Now, Clark, that is just ridiculous.
Absolutely filthy. I don't remember
on.
ever seeing a dunk like that in a game. I certainly can't remember the last time I saw it.
Oh, man, that was just amazing.
Williams can't get it to go.
You know, typically, guys, he has the body control to finish when he's in that tight. I'm not sure what happened there.
And the layup falls. And that's now 30 points for Clutch.
And I'll say this about him, Kevin. I mean, it looks like he's made of rubber sometimes because the defenders just bounce off him when he's driving the lane. What a finisher.
And you can't talk about him without mentioning his great passing ability. Not just the right pass, not just perfect placement, but excellent timing to spring his guys for the best possible look.
And it's Washington's ball. This run now up to 13-2. And stolen by Darren Williams. With the lead pass.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
Yeah, it feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close. And with that basket, you'd have to think this lead is safe.
Well, if not 100% safe, certainly 95%.
And it's Otto Porter with the foul. That's his first foul. And the Wizards are going with a whole new group out there now. And so it's Brooklyn with it. They trail by 18. Taylor attacking. That's blocked. Watch against Len. Can't get it to go. Some solid defense there from Teletovic. And now they decide to foul intentionally.
I'm not sure what he was thinking about there. That's a strange foul.
Who knows? Maybe he just wanted to take a break for a minute.
Washington calls timeout. They lead by 18. 1:12 left to play in the final quarter. Russell, he's checked in for Washington. Clutch comes in for Jeremy Lin.
You know, even at his age and having slowed down over the years, Jason Terry's still one of the best clutch shooters in the league and the ability to run the pick and roll. He just understands the nuances of how to spring that screener free or find a shot for himself.
Back to Taylor. 55 seconds left in the game. Terry kicks to Taylor. Clock at 6. And the Nets miss again. And, of course, for Terry in the pick and roll, he can punish you if you sag off him.
A terrific shooting combo guard. He's better off guarding point guards at the other end, though. So in Dallas, where they cross-matched him with Jason Kidd, that was an ideal setup for him.
Taylor dishes to Anderson. Gets it to go. 34 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Harden outside. Washington gets it back. Wizards passing it around. Passes to Clutch. He feeds it to Harden. Another miss by Harden. Brooklyn's gone to the three-pointer 11 times tonight and nailed 5 of them. Anderson passes to Terry. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. Free throw good, Terry. And both free throws good for Terry. Now Russell. Pass to McHale. Stolen by Anderson. Puts the lead pass in front of him. And it's blocked by Porter. And so it's Washington easily grabbing this one. How much to be critical of with this win, Clark?
We make it cool to be so.